When it comes to grief, there are so many things that people don't tell you. So many myths out there that make this journey harder. Today, I want to clear up 5 myths that I've found since going through my own grief journey. Number 1, grief is the same for everyone. It's really not. People told me what I was going to experience after my wife passed away. They said, I'm going to feel this after a few days, I'm going to feel that after a few weeks and a few months. And it turned out to be completely different to anything anyone ever told me. It was just bizarre how different it was. And it was completely different to what I was expecting it to be as well. And not only that, I've spoken to several other people over the years who have gone through similar experiences, and they've all said the same. It's been completely different for them. And that's fine. And I think the main thing here is, if you are on your own grief journey, just assume that it's going to be different to what people tell you. And that's absolutely fine. And I think once you realise it's going to be different, it might make things a little bit easier. Number 2, grief follows a set timeline. This goes back to what I was saying about grief being the same for everyone. The funeral home director came to my house after my wife died, and he said, after a few weeks you're going to feel this. After a few months you're going to feel that. And after 6 months you're going to feel that. And he kind of set out that timeline for me. And it doesn't work like that at all. Grief comes and goes in kind of phases, if you like. You have good days and you have bad days. My wife passed away 3 years ago, and whilst I don't think about her, constantly like I used to, it comes and hits me every now and again. And sometimes when I'm not even expecting it. Sometimes I could be out socialising, enjoying myself, and something will happen, maybe some trigger, I'll hear a song that, reminds me of her, or we go somewhere that we used to go to, and it just comes flooding back. So there's not this nice, you start off here and things start getting better and better and better and better and better. It doesn't work like that. There is no timeline. And I think that the main thing for me is you have to learn to live with it. Grief is not something that just goes, I don't think. I think that you have to learn for it to be part of your life. Number 3, moving on means forgetting them. This I absolutely disagree with. I've made a point of talking about my wife as much as I possibly can over the last few years. I want her memory to be alive. I don't want to forget about her. I wouldn't want that. I want her memory to be fresh in 10 years as what it is now. I saw this movie a while back where, I can't remember what it was about, some science fiction thing, and somebody there had their mind wiped because to take out these feelings of someone who they lost, and they wiped their mind to forget about them. And I think, no, even if I could do that, I wouldn't do that, I'm not going to forget my wife. I will never forget her. No matter what happens in my life, I will never ever forget my wife. So I don't think that you need to forget people. Number 4, grief only involves sadness. Once again, you can be sad and then the following day happy. But just because you've got a smile in your face doesn't mean you're happy. I refer to that as my happy sad face. I can be happy on the outside and sad on the inside. But you don't go through your whole grief journey being sad. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you have quite fond memories of the one that's passed away, for example. Other times you get quite upset about it. You might be in a social environment and you wish that they were there. So there's these sort of emotions of happy, sad, upset. It's a roller coaster of emotions. There's no one particular emotion that you're going to have whilst you're grieving, and that's something that you need to get used to as well. Number 5, you shouldn't talk about the person you've lost. I just touched upon this a minute ago, but when my wife died, I always made a point of talking about her, even though it's when you talk to people about somebody you've lost, it is an awkward conversation, because often they don't know what to say to you. And then that makes you feel awkward because you think, well, maybe I shouldn't have brought it up in the first place because now I've made them feel awkward. But I talk about my wife all the time, and I always will do. And I don't believe that you shouldn't talk about them. I know that people passing away and people dying, it's a bit of a taboo subject, particularly if they're, at a young age, or, went out in sort of extenuating circumstances. But you have to talk about them, and I will always talk about them. And I just do not think that, you should stop talking about them ever. These are my 5 tips. There's going to be more. I'll come out and make some more videos. I've also created a handy guide of the 5 best ways that I have dealt with grief, and it's a free guide. All you got to do is go to the link in the description, click on the link, and it'll take you to where you can get this PDF emailed to you. I'll also be doing a video on those 5 tips as well. There's a bit of other information in there as well. I go into details about how you can actually start bringing this advice and tips into your life and things like that. So yeah, if you want that, just click in the description and I'll send that out to you. I think that's it. So until next video, I'll see you all again.